Why a San Francisco dumpster makes sense for your remodel. We eventually become bored of seeing the same surroundings every time we return home from work. And while a fresh coat of paint and some new curtains can tweak our home's image, it's nice to give the place a major revamp from time to time to make it feel like a new property. You might want to knock down a wall that separates two rooms to create a more open space. Or you may decide to extend a room if you're anticipating a new family member. However, you'll probably have to dispose of piles of waste after revamping, and the easiest way to get rid of junk is to rent a San Francisco dumpster. You don't need a permit to place a San Francisco dumpster on your driveway. You only require a permit to place a dumpster on a public road where you're obstructing the right-of-way. Basically, unless your road is private and provides no through access, you need to obtain permission to place a dumpster on the street. However, for the small-scale home remodel jobs, you probably won't need anything larger than a 12-yard dumpster, and provided you have a long enough driveway, you should have ample space for one. If you're building an extension, replacing your roof shingles, or demolishing a small structure, you may have too much waste to accommodate a mini dumpster. Dumpster rental companies can't legally retrieve and transport receptacles filled higher than their sides, so don't choose the smallest size to save money if you think you're going to have too much waste to fit inside. Additionally, make sure you comply with the local laws surrounding dumpster placement to avoid receiving a fine. Your street needs to be wide enough to accommodate a dumpster without blocking traffic, and there needs to be ample space between the dumpster's ends and the next turn to minimize the chances of a road accident. Keep the dumpster until the job is done. In certain situations, you may be able to call a junk removal company instead of hiring a dumpster, which would mean you could avoid having a receptacle placed on your driveway and get rid of the waste in the space of a day. Perhaps more importantly, you wouldn't have to do any of the heavy lifting because the service includes this. A junk removal company can take the same waste that you'd fill your dumpster with, whether it's trash from revamping your garden or debris from remodeling your property. Electrical appliances, old items of furniture, and stripped out floors are no problem. In fact, the only thing a junk removal company can't take is household hazardous waste, HHW. But we'll talk more about that later. At this stage, all you need to know is that you can't fill a dumpster rental in San Francisco with HHW either, so you won't be limited regarding what you can get rid of, no matter which method of trash disposal you choose. The main drawback of hiring a junk removal company instead of renting a dumpster in San Francisco has to do with time. You can keep a dumpster on your driveway for as long as you like, usually a period of 3 days as negotiated with the rental company, but a junk removal company usually retrieves waste in the space of a day. Throw out just about any waste you like. Dumpsters are practical when remodeling your home because they can accommodate much more waste than your standard issue trash cans, such as large items of furniture. Plus, because of their size, you can dispose of a massive amount of junk without making several trips to the waste management facility or allowing trash to sit gathering dust on your property. If you're ripping down a wall, you can throw the rubble into a San Francisco dumpster without a moment's hesitation, just as you can with old floorboards, windows, and doors. Similarly, if you're going from room to room collecting old and unusable possessions, or if you're clearing out the garden to make way for your next landscaping project, you can put all the resulting waste into a dumpster and let the rental company deal with its contents for you. You pretty much have the freedom to fill your San Francisco dumpster rental with anything you like, except HHW. The EPA defines HHW as anything with corrosive, toxic, or combustible properties. Common examples of HHW include paint cans, even those with a small amount of residue left inside, car batteries, motor oil, varnish, paint stripper, antifreeze, fluorescent lights, pesticides. Regarding home remodels, the main thing you need to watch out for is walls painted with lead paint. However, you don't need to think twice when throwing away construction debris, garden waste, and old furnishings. Protect your vehicle from damage and avoid waste management facility fees. If you don't want to pay for a dumpster or a junk removal company, the only option you have left is to take responsibility for disposing of your own garbage. However, first, you should consider whether you really want to fill your vehicle with loose debris and potentially smelly trash, and you should think about the costs of fuel and waste management facility entry fees to decide whether you'd save much money. You should remember that a vehicle filled with waste won't burn fuel as efficiently as it does when it's only carrying you. Plus, how much will it cost to replace the seat's leather if it sustains damage or gets ripped by an object with sharp edges? If you have too much waste to fill your trash can, it's probably wiser to remove it from your property using a dumpster than your car. Junk King, the nation's #1 waste retrieval company, only charges for the amount of dumpster space you use, which is how it makes its prices more affordable than rental services that charge flat rates depending on the size of dumpster you rent. Take a picture of your trash or contact Junk King to describe the waste you have, and you'll get an idea for what the cost will be. Do your part for the environment. It's important to remember that the U.S. generates more waste per capita than any other nation, and more than half of our recyclable trash ends up in a landfill. Landfills, which the U.S. also has more of than any other country, have devastating effects on local ecosystems, sanitation workers' health, and the environment, so minimizing what goes into them is a top priority. Junk King is doing its part to address the issue of our landfill dependency by salvaging as much waste as it collects as possible, whether it's through recycling, selling, donating, or repurposing. In fact, we aim to salvage at least 60% of what we take, and we usually beat that target because we're one of the nation's only waste retrieval services with dedicated sorting facilities and passionate staff. Plus, we're the #1 junk removal and dumpster rental service in the USA and Canada, so you can feel confident that we dispose of waste responsibly. If you're remodeling, redecorating, landscaping, or just having a thorough spring clean, our mini San Francisco dumpster rental service is ideal for you. There are no hidden charges, we're always on time, and we look after the environment. Add those benefits to the fact that we're high value, and you can see why we're the nation's favorite junk removal service. Don't hesitate to give us a call if you have any questions, need advice, or would like to request a dumpster.